And now, presented by Sprite, the 2K pregame show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal on 2K Sports, and the NBA season is about to begin. The action tonight out at the Palace of Auburn Hills as the Detroit Pistons play against the Boston Celtics. You take a look at the Celtics. There's been a lot of discussion about them in the offseason, and even though today won't count in the standings, still such an exciting day in the NBA, watching the teams take the court for the first time. So, Shaq, you look at the league as a whole right now and all the young talent that's in here. If there were some way to put you in game shape so you could dress out today, who would you like to play with?
Well, Ernie, first of all, I'm not as old as you. Let's see, time capsule. I'd have to say I'd go Shaq to the future and play with LeBron. He's the best player in the game, and he plays so unselfish, and he loves to pass so much. I get to shoot it every time I want to. Shaq and the King in Cleveland.
Excuse me, Shaq, but you already did play with LeBron.
Yeah, but I was old like you then. You said a young Shaq. It's
yeah, but I wanted you to tell me who you'd like to play with that you haven't had a chance to play with already.
Oh, I'll have to go with LeBron.
I give up. Kevin Harlan, take it away.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome, fans, to 2K Sports' Tuesday night presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan. Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr are by my side. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. The Detroit Pistons preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. So Detroit will get the first possession. So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. At the 2 and 3, it's Avery Bradley and Jeff Green. Brandon Bass is out there with Jared Sullinger. And it's Rondo in at the point guard. Here's Caldwell Pope. It's back to Jennings. Just 5 to shoot. Rondo with the steal. And now the fast break. Rondo with the ball. Here's Green. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. Green's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Celtics.
Well, kind of an interesting paradox for Jeff Green. He's much better offensively playing at the power forward spot as a spread 4, but defensively he's much better guarding threes.
Now Sullinger. And it's Bradley off the drive. That's good. Bradley's got his first points of the game.
Boy, I'm surprised he took that shot. He was at a huge size disadvantage in that matchup, but boy, great job to bury it.
Over to the wing. Monroe down low. He's guarded by Bass. Shoots from the baseline. Monroe, no good.
Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that one.
Sullinger with a screen for Rondo. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Well, an illegal screen is one of the toughest calls for the official to make.
You know, I agree with you. You've got to have some sympathy for the referees when they have to make calls like that, but they get paid well, and they're the best in the business, so they can handle it.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Caldwell Pope gets to Jennings. Smith against Green. Clock at 4. Releases. Here's Monroe. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Jennings against Rondo. Here's Bradley. No luck. And the Pistons now going the other way. Monroe with a screen on Rondo. Jennings with the ball. He's picked up by Rondo. Jennings kicks to Caldwell Pope. He dishes it to Smith. Monroe down low. Guarded by Bradley. That's good.
Well, he recognized the advantage size-wise, and he went right at the defender. That's how you do it.
Now we'll go to DB, who had a chance to talk with head coach Brad Stevens. Doris?
Yes, he's looking at how they can establish an edge in this one. He's looking for them to lock things down on the interior first and foremost. He said our shot blocking is something that can really help us if we just play smart and avoid fouls. We want them shooting over length, and that's one thing my guys do bring to the table. A sound strategy, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. And as Doris provided the details, guys, the way they plan to attack defensively will be key early on, won't it?
Yeah, and early is the key word there, Kevin. If they can string together some stops right away, I think it'll really set the tone.
Which is just what they're going to be after, guys. They love to turn this into a defensive battle.
And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. So Smith will go to the line. Jeff Green picks one up.
Josh Smith does an awful lot of good things on the floor. As a matter of fact, he's one of the really high-quality stat sheet stuffers in the NBA. But one of the things he doesn't do quite well is shoot three-pointers. And yet he continues to insist that that be a big part of his game.
Now here's Rondo. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Green dishes to Bass. 6 to shoot. Bradley against Jennings. Bradley can't get it to go. And with Josh, it started as just a way to keep teams honest with this drive. But, Steve, last year he was taking threes at a record rate.
Yeah, and missing them at a career worst rate, which was the problem. I think for Smith it's important to rein in the three-point shot, to really focus on scoring inside, even the mid-range game where he's pretty good. But the three-point shot is not for everybody, that's for sure.
Now here's Rondo. Josh Smith unable to get his shot to go. Bass passes to Rondo. Kicks to Bass. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Celtics ball as Boston keeps possession. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Urepko's checked in for Monroe. Butler comes in for Smith. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Brandon Jennings. And a new group in for the Celtics. Olynyk, he's checked in for Zellinger. Wallace comes in for Brandon Bass. Turner's checked in for Jeff Green. And Smart subbed in for Bradley. Now Augustine, after Wallace's three-pointer that didn't go. Into Drummond. Got a piece of it. Olynyk with the steal. Turner against Augustine. And Turner kicks to Rondo. Trying to get back on track. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Drummond with a screen on Rondo. Augustine against Rondo. And here's Augustine. Unloads. No good off the back of the rim. The Celtics have gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%.
Well, the Celtics certainly played with a lot of passion last year. They got off to a start that few thought they would achieve, but even playing with passion can't cover up the holes in the roster.
There's 1:26 left here in the first quarter. Outside Rondo. Back to Turner. Right side Turner. Olynyk dishes to Turner. Smart kicks to Rondo. Pass to Smart. Back to Rondo. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by Urepko. A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it.
Yeah, no question. If I'm them, I'm definitely going 2-for-1.
And slam dunk by Butler. Well, now they're just going to town on it.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
Now here's Smart. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Rondo passes to Smart. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there. Pistons leading by 6. Butler kicks to Augustine. Drummond sets the screen for Augustine. Into Drummond. No good with the layup. Here's Rondo. Cannot hit. And that does it for the first quarter. Pistons lead by 6. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
And the difference to this point has been defense. This club has really gotten after it, and that's what's gotten them this lead.
Well, there's nothing that's gone up that hasn't been contested so far.
Celtics trail by 6 on the court for the Celtics. Second quarter underway. Green is out there with Brandon Bass. Then it's Jared Sullinger. Then it's Young. And it's Thornton in at the point guard position. Now, here is Young. Green with the ball. And Jennings picks him up defensively. And the layup's good off the glass. Jennings has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Pistons.
You know, they're being very one-dimensional right now, going to the post every time. But if it works, you don't need another dimension.
Well, they're taking this defense to task, quite honestly. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Here's Young. And a wide-open look for Thornton. Good. He hits the jump shot. Thornton's got his first basket of the night. Here's Jennings. 6-point game.
Well, after 3.5 seasons in Sacramento, Marcus Thornton was traded to the Nets last year, and he rallied back from what had been his worst season in the NBA. He shot much better in Brooklyn. It seemed to be a good fit playing with that playoff team.
And the shot is good. Bynum's got the lead, back up to 8 now for the Pistons. And the Celtics shooting 23% from the field. That's not going to get it done. And Thornton kicks to Young. The feed to Sullinger. Jennings with the rebound. And Thornton from Baton Rouge played collegiately at LSU.
Some have called him the Bayou Bomber. I like that name because he can fill it up in a hurry, and scoring is certainly what he does best.
Now here's Jennings. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Just 5 to shoot. From 18 feet away. Great D that time from Green.
Well, I like the defense there. Right up in his grill, didn't give him a chance.
Bass dishes to Thornton. Sullinger a screen on Bynum. Off the pick. And Marcus Thornton again.
Very effective screen to set up the jumper. That was the key to that play.
Here is Jennings. And now the first timeout called here for Detroit.
And Thornton, a 6'4" guard, but you'll never confuse him for a point guard. A volume shooter, from the moment he takes the floor, he's looking to put points up in a hurry, and he can do just that.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. He said a big part of their focus should be on offensive rebounding to get bodies to the glass at that end of the floor and work hard for second chance points. He also talked about creating good looks on the perimeter, saying we can hurt them from the outside. That should be a focus. Guys, they're clearly hoping those changes have an effect even before this game makes it to halftime. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris.
And Thornton, a streaky shooter from long range, but never shy from out there. I mean, for his career, almost half of his shot attempts have come from three-point territory. Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
Detroit leading by 4. Jennings kicks to Martin. It's back to Jennings. Tipped away. Young with the steal. Passes it to Thornton. He feeds it to Green. Shot clock at 6. No good on the 3. And you can accuse Marcus Thornton of tunnel vision offensively. But one thing you like, he doesn't turn the ball over.
And for his size, Kevin, he's a really crafty finisher around the rim. I like to focus on what guys do. He's a scorer. He takes good care of the ball. Let's not worry about what he does. You got to need for that rebound. He produces in that way.
Looked like there was a little confusion there as to who was supposed to be guarding him.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Nice ball movement by Boston. And Bass kicks to Green. It's stolen by Smith. For the finish, it's Bynum slamming it down.
And the defense just lets him go there.
And once he hit the open floor, there was no looking back. Straight to the rack.
The dish to Green. He's good with the little jumper in close. Green's got 6 points.
The defense playing way too soft there, guys. He's just getting right to the rim.
Bynum with it. Smith sets the pick for Bynum. Smith up top. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Brandon Bass.
Josh Smith signed by the Pistons last year to that big 4-year, $54 million contract. You know, the fit was problematic, particularly on the front line, trying to play next to Andre Drummond and Greg Monroe. I think it's important for Smith to have shooting around him. Otherwise, teams just sag off and they take away his driving lanes.
Well, you feel badly for Josh Smith. It's hard to feel sorry for a guy when he's making as much as he is and he's as talented as he is. But he's been playing at the small forward, and that sometimes exposes his deficiencies as a player because he tends to rely too much on the perimeter shot. Last season was his worst in terms of scoring efficiency.
And between the signings of Josh Smith and Brandon Jennings, both struggling to score reliably last season, Steve, the Pistons really struggled.
Well, we saw a change in the front office as well, Kevin. But, you know, for Josh Smith to be successful, I think he needs to stay inside. That fit didn't work last year. Too many interior players. And Smith with Monroe and Drummond just never really worked out.
So it's Detroit now, following the bucket by the Celtics. Here's Caldwell Pope, connects on the 17-footer. And the Pistons lead by 7.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
And the pass to Wallace. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Nice soft touch to drop that one in.
And the Pistons making a change here. Urepko's checked in. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for Detroit?
Well, they're trying to play fast and trying to put the defense on their heels.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Now here is Augustine. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Olynyk sets a screen for Bradley. We've got 1:28 left here in the second. Dishes to Olynyk. Pass to Turner. Takes the 13-footer. Misses off the right iron. Detroit leading by 7. Caldwell poke kicks to Drummond. Feeds to Singler. Drummond sets the screen for Singler. Here's Jerebko. Rebounded by the Celtics. At the elbow, it's Bradley. Picked away. 51 seconds left in the second quarter. Augustine with it. Now guarded by Smart. Now here is Augustine. On the wing, Singler. Turner covering. Augustine from outside. And Evan Turner pulls it down. Second shot opportunity. Jerebko can't get it to go. Celtics trail by 7. 19 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Smart passes to Bradley. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Now Augustine, he's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Charity's stripe shot, and he hits the jumper for 2. Augustine's got the lead up to 9 now for the Pistons.
He's not their first option, but not a bad fallback either.
And we finished one half of basketball. The Pistons on top, up by 9. And we'll be back with you right after this. The second half just about to get going here. One guy who's getting it done is Jeff Green.
I think like he made everything he got. I mean, anytime he had an open look, he took advantage of the opportunity there in that first half.
And Steve, they were all good looks. I mean, his shot selection has been terrific throughout the game.
And so it's Boston with it. They trail by 9 points. Monroe and Drummond there inside. On the wings, KCP and Josh Smith. And it's Jennings in at the 1. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. Green. Rebound by the Pistons.
Well, the Pistons' acquisition of Josh Smith last season put Greg Monroe in a tight spot. Both players, natural power forwards, neither one of them floor spacers, so it really was not a good fit, and that showed in the Pistons' record. That lead pass allowed him to get straight to the hoop without losing any momentum.
Outside Rondo, he kicks to Bradley. He dishes it to Green. Clock at 6. Stolen, and they're running. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, no doubting Andre Drummond, an emerging star at the center position. As new coach Stan Van Gundy put it, I think we have 2 responsibilities to Andre Drummond that will help our team. Number 1, do everything we possibly can to develop him as a player, and secondly, to put a system and personnel around him that will allow him to thrive. Kevin?
Of course, it sounds like he'll play a pivotal role. Thank you.
Yeah, Van Gundy perhaps envisioning him as Dwight Howard 2.0 in the middle. We'll see if, in fact, Drummond can live up to that.
And here's Rondo. Josh Smith getting his 3 to go. Rondo kicks to Green. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Green's got 9. And despite playing in one of the league's most dysfunctional offenses, Greg Monroe remained effective as a scorer, I thought, last season.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. A slight downtick in his numbers, but not surprising given the circumstances you just highlighted. This guy's got a nice mid-range game and does a good job on the offensive glass, too.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Well, it's been said about Rajon Rondo that he's the smartest guy in the room and also might be the most stubborn. He's got a terrific IQ for the game, but he's opinionated. We we've seen him butt heads with coaches in high school, college, and the pros, but that certainly doesn't take away from his greatness. He's a winner, a champion, and a terrific point guard.
Well, you're right. It has fueled his rise, whether it was at Kentucky, growing up in Louisville, or certainly playing with the Boston Celtics. Among some very important players, Hall of Famers like Allen and Garnett and Paul Pierce. He may have needed a little bit of that just to kind of clear the clutter and show that he could be a leader. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He'd like them to concentrate on their transition game, to keep the tempo fast and put pressure on the defense in the open court. He also said that their work on the offensive glass is going to be critical. He believes second chance points will go a long way toward deciding this game. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Here's Caldwell Pope after Rajon Rondo's bucket. 4 on the shot clock. There's Jennings with the 3, and Boston with the rebound. Sullinger's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
And Rondo has said he'd like to be a coach when his playing days are done, despite his dust-ups with former coach Doc Rivers. You know, he says he studied his ways and learned a lot from him. Definitely a lot of respect there.
Jennings against Rondo. Jennings kicks to Monroe. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here.
Boston foul. Brandon Bass. His second personal, first team.
A different look here for Detroit. Caron Butler is checked in for Drummond. And it's Jody Meeks in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Boston also with the sub, Marcus Thornton. He's checked in for Bradley. And Rondo had said that his knee injury has made him humbler and certainly more appreciative of the NBA and his God-given gifts and not skipping steps in his approach now to the game.
Yeah, you know, but he did skip a flight with the Celtics last season. He stayed in L.A. to celebrate his birthday. That's not exactly how you want to go about your work.
Here's Jennings. After Jeff Green's bucket, Jennings drives in, unloads from 13. Here's Smith, a second chance effort. Here's Monroe. They shoot again, and he gets it to go.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
His second person, second team.
The Pistons shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
Monroe. Shooting 1.
The free throw drops for Monroe.
Well, Greg Monroe, good size and skill at the power forward position. Loves to operate from the high post where he can make plays for others or attack off the dribble.
Now here's Rondo. Here's Sullinger. The rebound by Brandon Jennings.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off. And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
Here's Jennings. He has 5. Here's Smith. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got 3 assists now in this one. Celtics trail by 12. Here's Rondo. Kicks it to Thornton. Rebound by the Pistons. Monroe's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Outside Jennings. And it's Smith, top of the key. It's rebounded by Thornton.
I thought he'd make that one. That's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
Rondo kicks to Sullinger. The jump hook, no good. Great D that time from Jennings.
Oh, boy, he is just cold as ice. I don't think he's going to be the one to help them cut into the lead.
Meeks dishes to Butler. Goes up the baseline. Count the bucket. Butler's got the lead up to 14 now for Detroit. And now the first timeout called here for Boston. The Pistons ended near the bottom of the East, guys, again, but still certainly a ways to go.
Well, a lot of their struggles, Kevin, came from just their inability to close out games against the rest of the conference.
Jerebko's checked in for Detroit. Augustine comes in for Brandon Jennings. And a new group in for the Celtics. Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Zellinger. Wallace comes in for Brandon Bass. Turner's checked in for Jeff Green. And Smart subbed in for Rajon Rondo.
For the Pistons last year, they finished with a 23-29 record against the East. And for the last number of years, they just haven't quite been able to figure out how to take that next step forward.
Now here is Augustine. Marcus Smart missing that last shot. Here's Monroe. It's rebounded by Thornton. Thornton's got his third rebound on the night. Pass to Wallace. Now here's Thornton. T right on him. And here, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Detroit.
They've been the aggressors, and they've been tougher in the paint all game.
Well, they've also really been dialed in with their jump shot. I mean, they have not missed much from mid-range today.
56 seconds left to play here in the third. Now Augustine. They set the pick. In low to Monroe. That doesn't go either from Monroe.
Well, the Pistons made some moves, but they really just seem to be keeping pace with the rest of the East. I think they have to be patient and allow this young talent to blossom, and they'll have a chance to move up.
Now here is Augustine. Marcus Smart missing that last shot. The feed now to Meeks. Passes to Monroe. The dish to Augustine. Detroit, no good that time either. Celtics trail by 11. Here's Olynyk. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Olynyk's got 7 points. And here's Augustine. 1 second left. Good as the jump shot falls. And the Pistons lead by 11.
Tell you what, it's a huge plus to have him making shots like that.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Pistons lead by 11. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. And a moment here to look back at our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, no question, this was going to be the winner. Just take a look at the expertise he shows on this pass. Perfectly timed and beautifully placed.
Here's Caldwell Pope on the floor for Boston. Smart and Bradley the guards. Wallace is out there with Evan Turner, and it's Olynyk in at the foul. A lot of questions about what exactly is the best fit for Drummond on the floor. And Steve, I mean that both in what position he plays and who he pairs up with inside.
I think that's the key, Kevin. It's really who he's paired up with. You know, last year's Pistons team just didn't have enough floor spacing, and so the paint was clogged. But if you get Drummond with some shooting, particularly a stretch four, to really open up the court for him, man, that's scary.
And with Drummond, I think he has such versatility and is really a amazingly consistent player in how he plays. I think he could tandem and partner up with any other big guy and be effective.
No good on the second free throw.
And guys, it's easy to look good playing alongside someone like Drummond, who has athleticism that is matched by very few in the league and maybe unparalleled for others in his position. It makes the coach's job a lot easier.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage anyway. It was only with one hand, but he threw it down pretty hard.
Now here is Augustine. He feeds it to Caldwell Pope. Uncovered. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Well, he was boxed out, and when that happens, at some point you have to just turn and get back defensively. That time he went right over the top.
Yeah, but you go straight on the top of another player's back, that's going to be a foul call every time.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Josh Smith, he's checked in for Butler. And it's Jennings in for Augustine. And a new group in for the Celtics. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Kelly Olynyk. Bass comes in for Gerald Wallace. Green, he's checked in for Evan Turner. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Smart. Fires the three. Bradley can't get it to go.
Even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
Yeah, not enough defensive coverage there to prevent him from firing that time, but I think if he's open, he's got to let that thing fly.
And it's Smith that time on the assist from Brandon Jennings. 9 points for Smith.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
Now a timeout called by Boston. An uptick in minutes last season for Andre Drummond. The Pistons had brought him along slowly, Clark, in his rookie season, much to the frustration of the Piston fans.
You know what? It was the Pistons training staff, though, Kevin, that pulled back the reins. They found he had some imbalances athletically that predisposed him to injury, so they wanted to be cautious with him, and it looks like it's paying off.
Here's Rondo, following the score by Josh Smith. The drive by Green, and that one's good. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Jennings with the ball. He's picked up by Rondo. Singler with a screen on Rondo. Drummond in the post. Sullinger's there. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
Shooting 2.
A lot of people thought and assumed that when the Celtics traded Pearson KG, they just took salary in return. But, the guys they got proved to be valuable mentors for the youngsters on that team.
And when you trade away stars, guys, and start a rebuilding process, it can't be understated enough that you need to have a few vets to help the process.
Yeah, I think you look at how some players played last year and, their games grew. Definitely helped to have a vet or two around just to kind of help the development process.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
Well, it's been a while since Motor City has seen the playoff on the basketball court, and it just appears as though they've been stuck in neutral the last few seasons.
With Detroit, as you said, haven't made the playoffs since 2009, and Steve, over the last few years, just stuck near the bottom.
And they've been, kind of a treadmill team, good enough to not be dead last, but not bad enough to get a really high pick. And they tried to change it via free agency, so we'll see how it goes.
First one falls for him.
Some excellent numbers in this one for Green. He's got 14 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Kyle Singler. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
Well, some mixed results from the Pistons so far with their new acquisitions of Josh Smith and Brandon Jennings. Certainly a talent upgrade, but they didn't seem to move the needle all that much in year 1.
Now here's Jennings. There's the pass to Drummond. The rebound by the Celtics.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
Green. And here's Jennings. Monroe sets a screen for Jennings. Dishes it to Monroe. It's back to Jennings. Just 5 on the clock. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Here's Smith. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
That's his second personal.
And for Josh Smith, a 4-year, $58 million contract, a lot invested in this new-look roster.
Yeah, and they've got talented players, Kevin. A lot of them are young and still developing, have some room to grow. It's about defining, accepting, and embracing roles, and we'll see if the Pistons can make all of that happen.
He misses the free throw.
You know, guys, every coach would love to play his star player every minute of an NBA season, but it's impossible given the limits of endurance and the risk of injury. It's basically a balancing act. I think teams are becoming wiser, though, in terms of keeping players fresh and helping them recover between games.
And the second free throw, good.
And looking at player recovery, now with the ability to track player movement, either with cameras or even sensors that players can wear, teams are better able to measure the workload of players, helping them make decisions about where rest is needed and when it's needed, and even help them predict when there's a risk of injury, and that's really a golden bullet. And again, another example of information being used to enhance player performance.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfectly.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Outside Rondo on the wing, Green. Rondo passes to Bradley. Celtics passing it around. Shoots a three. And Rondo gets it to go on the assist by Bradley. And guys, across sports, the key to winning is keeping your star players available.
Well, teams are learning a lot from player tracking. For one, morning shoot-arounds may be more draining than we realized, so some teams are cutting those down. And also, athletes do better with frequent short rests, so subbing often can leave players with more energy in crunch time.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. It was clear what message he was trying to get across. He said, this lead isn't big enough that we're safe. Not by a long shot. I don't want us sitting back and milking the clock. Play to win. Show some aggression. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Now here's Rondo. Pass to Green. On the mark with the 15-footer. Green's got 6 in the quarter.
That mid-range jumper, just another one of his weapons.
Pistons leading by 11. Jennings drives in, and that one's good.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
Brandon Jennings so quick, a left-handed speed demon. You know, as quick as he is off the bounce, he's not as good of a finisher inside as you might expect. I think sometimes he makes those shots a little more difficult than they need to be.
Celtics trail by 13. Outside Rondo. Outside Bradley. And he gets it to go.
And for Jennings, it's not just finishing at the rim. His percentages from mid-range and in between have room for growth, too. He's tried to develop a floater, but working on those 1 or 2 dribble pull-ups should also be an area of focus for him.
The offensive rebound, Monroe. Out to Smith. To the right side. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. It's stolen by Bass. Bradley with the ball. Left side, Bradley. Rondo kicks to Bradley. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. We're talking about Jennings finishing inside. So much of that is a mastery of angles. Steve, I know you're really mesmerized by the whole study of angles and the way players attack certain defenses, finding that space where the shot blocker can't get to.
Yeah, geometry, Kevin. It's fascinating. And, you know, you could benefit from watching a guy like Tony Parker. He's the master at beating the big man to the backboard by putting that shot up quickly to use the rim to protect his shot.
And the Celtics with possession here, following the three by Detroit. And the shot is good.
And these are the types of games where it's obvious one team clearly had the edge. Tonight, it's going to be a great win by a large margin for Detroit.
Mark, looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders. And on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
Yeah, but they did a better job tonight. They made the most of the extra rebounds, too.
Depth always a factor in wins like this, and what an incredible game out of nowhere it was for Greg Monroe. Every time there was a big possession or big play, he was contributing in some manner. Just a great game for him.
Now Jennings. Rondo missing on the three. Outside Jennings. Feeds it to Drummond. He kicks it to Caldwell Pope. Outside Jennings. Shot clock at 5. Baseline jumper, and he gets it to go. And the Pistons lead by 14.
Terrific job taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And, Steve, I thought those fans, those home fans, gave this team a big lift all game. A lot of positive energy in the building.
Right side Jennings, and so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Greg Monroe.